I keep picking up the phrase anything, anywhere, anytime, like over and over and over again. So you may be underestimating uh how much somebody or something is like willing to do for you. And I say something because it could be like if you're a practitioner of some sort or something like that, or even just like regardless of what your spiritual beliefs are, um I'm getting that it could be due to an increase in spiritual rank, or not like, I mean, if you are reincarnated with your spiritual rank, it's just like a given, like you always have it. It's just like you stepped into it or whatever, or it's been like unlocked or released or whatever. And so, okay, if it is a spiritual thing, I'm getting that like you may underestimate how, because you're in a new cycle of your life. Like you've done a lot of work, you've done a lot, like a lot. And you know, I think that we always think that we peak when things are, I don't know. It's something about like you thought that things were going well before, but that was like I don't know, that was only like the tip of the iceberg or whatever. And I think that you are not anticipating how fluidly like your reality is sort of like bending and like navigating around your like will and true desires, because I feel like whatever you like, I don't know, whatever you are like desiring or like craving or like seeking at this time is in full alignment with, I don't know, the higher will or whatever, okay? And so this could look like, so if you like work a 9 to 5, say you get, I don't know, like you like earned a few half days, okay? And then the days where you take those half days, they just like happen to be on days where you were like feeling under the weather in that morning and you needed that extra time. And you're like, oh wow, I'm really grateful that I just happened to have these half days because it just perfectly aligned. Or it's sort of like your mind like thinks something. I don't know. It's like, oh, I don't know. It's just something that like, or say like you end up getting sick, right? And then it's almost like your schedule just happened to be perfectly aligned to like accommodate you being sick, to where it doesn't like cause any additional strain or like burden to you. um it's just, you may feel like your reality is starting to be very like kind and generous to you. And I'm okay, this is like going to be super, I don't know if it's like niche or whatever, but I am getting like that generous energy. um it could be embodied within like a person at this time. And this is like a little esoteric, but it's giving that like you've aligned with somebody who, I guess, their vessel was in a good state or whatever, to be like, so that like a certain spirit within them could be activated, or like it's sort of like the vessel, like the person, their vibration became a match for a certain like spirit's vessel and vibrate, like they like a certain spirit's vibration, okay? And so like, it's like that person was awakened, and in them being awakened, like the spirit was awakened within them, and that spirit just happens to be like, I don't know, like the embodiment of like your guides or whatever. Like I'm getting that, there is like some divine essence that is like moving through another person that is going to be like very important in your life, who literally is like, the way that like your ancestors love you, the way that your whoever you're like a devotee for. And if you're a Christian, you're still a devotee, okay? It's just like whatever higher power, whatever, or even just like your own self-love, it's being embodied in another person so that you can like receive that externally. Not that we require that or anything, but it's like you've been carrying yourself on purely internal validation, and you are so strong because of it. But it's giving that like the universe or whatever is trying to show you like, you don't need to be strong anymore. It's giving like, you've won hundreds and hundreds of battles in the Colosseum that, everybody thought you would lose, and you survived. So obviously, why would you like, obviously there's like rewards for winning that many times, I don't know. This is like kind of a weird example. But I'm getting that like one of your gifts can actually be somebody who is, I know it's kind of like controversial, but it's giving that like, and I'm under the impression, and I know this is like kind of weird to say, but like all of us are like every vessel is like possessed with their spirit. Like we're all, it just like depends what energy is like like is occupying you or whatever. Like your soul is literally like inside of a vessel. um I'm not really gonna get into like the logistics of if everybody's like having a soul or whatever, or if the soul is just like dormant, like a volcano is still a volcano, even though it's like a dormant, it can like wake up anytime or whatever. But I'm getting that like whatever, some person that was essentially a dormant volcano has been activated essentially to be like a blessing or a gift or a miracle in your life. And so that person themselves could be going through this like journey of their awakening and ego death, at the same time as like that activation is happening. But it's like as that activation is happening, it's like, I don't want to say that like they're instructions, because like you have instructions, like your like divinity or like your higher self is like always like guiding you and telling you what to do. And you like, and it is like for the highest and greatest good, obviously, okay? And so like, you know, I don't know, it's just like people are activating around you and stuff like that to sort of like help support you on your mission, and like so you will also like vice versa help them and stuff like that. It's also giving a bit of like, not just romantically but also friends and stuff like that. I am getting that some of you may be like, if you're a feminine energy, you could be manifesting your like Charlie's Angels type of friend group, and if you're a masculine, you could be manifesting like your Three Musketeers friend group. And like how loyal and ride or die they were for each other. Like there's no question that they were, you know, there for each other. And I'm getting that some of you may have been like loners or something like that, or even just been like, I'd be happy just to have one good friend. And I'm getting that like you're about to have two, at least like two platonic friendships that are like your family, that you can trust with your life, which is a big deal for those of us and you or whatever who have always kind of just need to like take shit on the chin by yourself forever, like early, since you were born or whatever. But yeah, so I'm getting that like, again, going back to like that anything, anytime, anywhere. um I'm getting, so if it is romantically, your person is activated, like they are awakened or whatever, and it's like their higher self is kind of like guiding them, and it's sort of like tying their emotional fulfillment in some way to supporting you or helping you in any way. um I'm getting that you, if you see like messages that are like, oh, the universe is your sugar daddy, or like, you're so spoiled and like beloved by like, the most high or whatever, like that energy, that love energy is like sort of being embodied into inside of people, and those people are starting to enter your life. And I think that you may be surprised by the lengths that certain individuals will be willing to go for you now. um like, and I'm not getting that it's like not reciprocal, because I think that you would be willing to do these things for those people too, but like they're not going to ask or expect it of you. It's like in the ways that you are able to show and give love, that's going to be matched by like the ways that they are able to show and give love, that will sort of like mesh so perfectly well with you to where you don't feel like you are shouldering the burden of life by yourself anymore. And I think that like it can be really easy to underestimate the, I don't know, like the psychological impact of, you know knowing and like being able to fully trust that somebody has your back no matter what, and let alone like multiple people. But yeah, basically, so I'm getting that somebody would be willing to change their whole life around for you. If you genuinely needed something, it's giving someone with like, someone could live across the world from you, and if you had an emergency, they would come and see you. Like it's, and they may not say this to you, but it's giving something like that. Like, it's like you make a best friend who lives on the opposite coast of you, and if something happened that was like really painful and tragic to you, they would drive if they needed to come see you. And I don't think that you've ever had somebody in your life like that, and now you're gonna have at least two other people. The number doesn't really matter, but like I would say just enjoy it. Don't doubt it when it comes in, and know that it is divine and it was like a gift from the divine for you.